If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. As Kenny Pickett approaches the final season of his rookie contract, which was initially signed for 4 years, it has been confirmed that the Cleveland Browns will not exercise the option to extend his contract for a 5th year. This news, which was reported by several media outlets on Monday, marks a pivotal moment in Pickett's career. As a 26-year-old quarterback enters a critical season where he will not only be earning $2.23 million, but also fighting to secure his place on the Browns roster. Pickett's situation is complicated by the fact that the quarterback room in Cleveland is crowded with competition. Veteran quarterback Joe Flacco, who has extensive experience in the league, will be vying for playing time alongside Pickett. In addition, the Browns have drafted 2 promising quarterbacks in Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel, who will be trying to prove themselves as worthy successors or backups in the team. Adding to the complexity, the Browns starting quarterback Deshaun Watson is currently sidelined indefinitely due to a right Achilles tendon injury, creating an opening for Pickett and the other quarterbacks to potentially see significant playing time this season. One of the key factors in Pickett's current situation is the financial implications tied to the 5th-year club option, which would have been valued at $22.117 million, according to reports from Cleveland.com. This hefty sum is now off the table as the Browns have made the decision not to move forward with the option, leaving Pickett's future uncertain and dependent on his performance during this final season. Pickett's journey in the NFL has been anything but typical. Originally drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers in the first round of the 2022 NFL Draft with the 20th overall pick, Pickett's early career with the Steelers showed promise. However, in March of the following year, he was traded to the Philadelphia Eagles, where he would spend the 2023 season as a backup to Jalen Hurts. His time with the Eagles was marked by limited opportunities, as he played in just 5 games and made 1 start. Despite the lack of playing time, Pickett's performance in those limited appearances still showcased his potential. He completed 25 out of 42 passes, a 59.5% completion rate, for a total of 291 yards, 2 touchdowns, and just 1 interception. These statistics, while not overwhelming, demonstrated that Pickett had the capability to contribute when called upon. Over the course of 3 seasons, spanning from his time with the Steelers in 2022 to his tenure with the Eagles in 2023, Pickett accumulated a total of 471 completions on 755 attempts, which equates to a completion percentage of 62.4%. His total yardage over this period stands at 4,665 yards, with 15 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. This body of work reflects his growth and development as a quarterback, even though his career has been marked by some challenges, including injuries and competition for starting roles. As a starter with the Steelers, Pickett posted a record of 14 wins and 10 losses. His most notable achievement came when he stepped in for an injured Jalen Hurts during the 2024 season. In his 1 start that year, Pickett led the Eagles to a victory, playing a key role in their eventual Super Bowl championship. This unexpected success added a major highlight to his career, giving him a moment of glory that many quarterbacks never experience. However, despite this success, Pickett's long-term prospects in Cleveland now hang in the balance. With the Browns choosing not to exercise the 5th-year option on his contract, Pickett will have to prove himself once again. Whether he can earn a future in Cleveland or find success elsewhere will depend heavily on his performance during this upcoming season. The competition within the Browns quarterback room will undoubtedly push Pickett to elevate his game, and how he handles the pressure will likely determine the trajectory of his career moving forward. In conclusion, the decision by the Cleveland Browns to not pick up Kenny Pickett's 5th-year option has left his future uncertain. Despite a rocky start to his NFL career, including a trade from the Steelers to the Eagles, Pickett has shown flashes of potential and even contributed to a Super Bowl win. With competition in the quarterback room heating up, Pickett's ability to perform this season could be the deciding factor in whether or not he secures a long-term role in the NFL. The stakes are high for the young quarterback, and how he responds to the pressure could shape the next chapter of his career. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. There's a heavy sense of concern swirling around Cleveland today, and it all centers on one man, Deshaun Watson. In a city that knows all too well the fine line between hope and heartbreak, rumors began to spread early this morning suggesting that the Browns franchise quarterback might be dealing with a new injury. And while nothing has been confirmed officially, the whispers are growing louder, sending shockwaves through not just the Browns fan base, but across the entire NFL landscape. After all, when it comes to Deshaun Watson, every detail matters. Because for Cleveland, he isn't just another player. He's supposed to be the player. The one who finally turns decades of suffering into something special. Now the details of the alleged injury are still murky, which only adds to the anxiety. Some reports suggest it might be related to his throwing shoulder, the same one that kept him sidelined for a significant portion of last season. Others hint at something different, possibly a tweak or strain suffered during off-season workouts. Whatever the truth is, it's clear that people inside and outside the organization are holding their breath. The timing couldn't be worse. With the 2025 season on the horizon and expectations higher than they've been in years, Cleveland cannot afford any setbacks. Not now. Not after all the investments, the trades, the headlines, and the weight of so many dreams placed squarely on Watson's shoulders. If you rewind just a few months, the Browns were riding a wave of cautious optimism. Sure, last season had its roller coaster moments, but there were glimpses, just enough flashes of the old Deshaun Watson to believe that better days were coming. His chemistry with Amari Cooper, the glimpses of a retooled offense under Kevin Stefanski, and the sheer toughness he showed battling through adversity all hinted that the Browns were finally on the cusp of something real. And that's why today's news, even as a rumor, hits so hard. It's a reminder of how fragile success can be in the NFL, how one wrong step, one awkward fall, or one bad twist of fate can change everything in an instant. Behind the scenes, it's believed that the Browns medical staff are assessing the situation carefully, hoping it's just a minor scare. In fact, sources close to the team are trying to downplay the seriousness of the situation, insisting that everything is fine and that Deshaun is expected to be ready when the team's off-season program ramps up. But fans have heard that kind of talk before. They know that optimism in April doesn't always translate to wins in September, especially when it comes to a player whose recent history includes a significant shoulder injury and stretches of inconsistency. So the panic is understandable. This isn't just about Deshaun Watson's health. It's about the entire future of the Cleveland Browns. And speaking of futures, it's impossible to ignore what's at stake here. The Browns have built this roster with a very specific plan in mind, that Deshaun Watson would be healthy, elite, and capable of leading them deep into the playoffs. They've structured their contracts, their draft picks, and even their coaching decisions around him. In short, everything is tied to Deshaun. Take him out of the equation, or even downgrade him to something less than 100%, and suddenly the entire house of cards starts to wobble. Nick Chubb can still run, Myles Garrett can still dominate, and the defense can still wreak havoc. But without elite quarterback play, championships are just dreams, not reality. What's even more nerve-wracking is the silence coming from Deshaun Watson himself. No social media posts, no reassuring videos of him tossing passes or hitting the gym. Nothing but radio silence. And in today's world, where athletes are quick to reassure fans with a quick post or an Instagram story, that silence speaks volumes. It doesn't confirm the worst, of course, but it doesn't help ease the fears either. Fans want to believe, they want to trust, but history has taught them to be skeptical, to brace for disappointment, especially when it comes to something as vital as their quarterback's health. Adding another layer to the drama is the reaction from around the league. You can bet that division rivals like the Ravens, Bengals, and Steelers are watching this situation closely. They know that a healthy Deshaun Watson makes the Browns dangerous, possibly division champions, even Super Bowl contenders, but an injured Watson? That changes the balance of power in the AFC North instantly. In a division that's already a bloodbath with Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and a rising Pittsburgh squad, any slip from the Browns could mean another season on the outside looking in. That's the cruel reality of the NFL. There's no mercy, no patience, just a brutal, relentless march where only the strong survive. There's also the matter of public perception. Even before today's rumors, Watson's tenure in Cleveland has been filled with scrutiny and controversy. His performances have been under the microscope, his every move analyzed and critiqued. Fair or not, an injury, even a minor one, will only add to the narrative that he's a risky investment, a player who may never quite live up to the colossal expectations placed upon him. And in a city like Cleveland, where sports pain is practically woven into the fabric of daily life, fans are desperate for a hero who can not just play well, but stay on the field, deliver in the clutch, and finally bring a championship parade to the shores of Lake Erie. For now, all anyone can do is wait. Wait for an official update. Wait for Deshaun Watson himself to step up and say something, anything, to either confirm or deny what's swirling around the rumor mill. Until then, speculation will only grow. Every practice report, every insider whisper, every vague comment from a coach will be dissected like it's a clue in some massive conspiracy. That's the price of hope in Cleveland. That's what happens when you dare to believe, when you put your faith in a player who holds your entire football soul in his hands. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe by the time you hear the next update, the Browns will announce that Deshaun Watson is perfectly fine, throwing lasers in practice, ready to lead this team to glory. Maybe this rumor will vanish like so many others before it, just a blip in the off-season drama cycle. But if it's not, if there's real fire behind this smoke, then Cleveland is facing a nightmare scenario. Because as good as this roster is, as talented as this coaching staff might be, it all hinges on number 4. As the hours tick by and the speculation grows, one thing remains certain. The eyes of an entire fan base, maybe even an entire league, are fixed squarely on Cleveland, waiting, hoping, and praying that the news isn't as bad as it sounds. For Deshaun Watson, for the Browns, and for a city that has suffered more than its share of heartbreak, these next few days could define everything. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!